What is up, guys? Fado82 coming at you with a weekly Rust update video. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. What you might notice is the inventory system looks a little bit different. There are now protection values or statistics that dynamically shift as you add or remove articles of clothing or pieces of armor. They'll finally show you exactly what it's going to look like when you stack certain combinations together, and they'll allow you to get just the right fit for what you're looking for in terms of your armor combination. In addition, a crossbow has been added into the game. It's not going to be a default blueprint, and it's going to run you 350 wood, 75 metal fragments, and 25 cloth. Even though it's not a default blueprint, it is a fairly common blueprint, so it won't be hard to find. The rate of fire on it's going to be slower than the bow. It does do more damage than the bow, and in terms of ammo, it doesn't require a special bolt for it. It will take either the high velocity arrows or the existing arrows. It's deadly accurate and super fast. The crossbow does more damage than the bow from initial tests, and it seems to affect bleeding on a more consistent basis than arrows from the bow. Of course, with the high velocity arrows, it's going to do more damage, but all in all, the crossbow seems to be pretty much dead on in terms of where you want to place it. You can drive nails with it. Much more accurate than the bow from the initial tests that we're able to do. In terms of headshots, it's pretty much an insta-kill. 3 new melee weapons have been added into the game. There's a long two-handed sword, which is going to run you 30 cloth, 200 metal fragments, a salvage cleaver, which will be 30 cloth, 175 metal fragments, and a mace, which will run you 200 wood and 120 metal fragments. They're not default blueprints, so if you want to go ahead and craft them, you're going to have to find the blueprints. The mace does a lot of damage but doesn't have the greatest range, and both the salvage cleaver and the longsword have better range and also do high damage. They are two-handed weapons, and they have combinations of slices and also jabs. So if you go ahead and take a look at it, when you're attacking your target, it will do 2 slices and then a jab, and that actually does a different range when it's doing the jab versus the slices, so just be aware of that. And this is where the patch gets really interesting, guys. The mining system has been overhauled in this week's iteration of Rust. In previous iterations, we would be able to place a mining quarry in any location and get a yield of at least stone. In this iteration, that's not the case. We can only place the quarries in locations that we've used a survey charge on and that indicate that it's a mineral-rich area. So you'll notice that it now leaves a crater indicating that this is an area that we can place a quarry on, and we'll go ahead and we'll do that. The quarry looks a little bit different now in terms of the graphic. It functions just the same with using the low-grade fuel to fuel it, starting the engine, and then having your output come out in this location here. A new resource called high quality metal ore is now going to be an integral part of the game. It's going to be required to craft high-end items like assault rifles, machine guns, and anything above the primitive tier. So be aware that the values for these items in terms of crafting have changed completely. So now to craft a custom SMG, it's 30 high quality metal instead of the metal fragments before, an assault rifle 50 high quality metal. So if you find a location that's resource rich with a survey charge with high quality metal ore, you want to go ahead and make sure to place down a quarry so you can go ahead and mine that location. It's going to be absolutely integral. Another new mining station has been added into the game. It's called a pump jack. It extracts oil from the ground, and you have to use a survey charge to determine the amount of available oil that will be given in any particular extraction location. It's not a default blueprint. If you want to go ahead and craft it, it's going to run you 10,000 wood, 1,750 metal fragments, and 500 cloth. Hand in hand with the pump jack is a small oil refinery which has been added into the game. It is a station that you can go ahead and craft for 200 wood, 500 metal fragments, 250 low-grade fuel. Again, not a default blueprint, and what this allows you to do is take the crude oil that you got from the pump jack and refine it into low-grade fuel, which is required to run the pump jack and also the mining quarry. So low-grade fuel is going to become much more essential for crafting purposes and also running your machines to be able to craft the items you need. So you're going to want to have a station where you can go ahead and convert that crude oil that you're getting back into low-grade fuel. 2 furnaces have now been added into the game. There's now a large furnace that's been put in with this week's iteration of Rust. Taking a look at the differences, you'll notice that right off the bat, the furnaces are going to be completely different in terms of their storage. A large furnace is 3 times as big as the smaller furnace. The large furnace will be something you'll have to build around. It's not going to place neatly inside your home, so it is going to be something that you're going to have to plan for. In terms of the large furnace, it's not a default blueprint. If you want to go ahead and make one, it's going to run you 600 stones, 600 wood, and 200 low-grade fuel. It's absolutely a much-needed addition to the game, and it's really cool stuff. Alright guys, and I really hope you enjoyed this update video. I certainly had a fun time making it. I just wanted to say that I kind of breezed through some things on this, but the changes in this week's update are absolutely game-changing and earth-shattering to Rust. With these new mining stations and the focus on high quality metal being needed to create high-end items, you're going to see a much longer stage in the game where it's a sort of a primitive phase where people are using melee weapons, bows and arrows, things of that nature. Very exciting stuff. It was much needed for Rust, and we're really going to be interested to see how it all plays out in the wild this week. We'll certainly keep you guys updated. We got more raid cams on the way. Stay tuned. Beto82, peace.